a former Afghan diplomat and a non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, joining us now live, also from Washington, D.C. Thank you for joining us. So when we listen daily to what the Pentagon says, they took a lot of questions about the ability of the Taliban itself to fight Daesh. The Pentagon did confirm that the Taliban had actually thwarted some attacks before the one on the airport on Thursday. But over the past few days, the Pentagon has said that they can't speak for the Taliban's intent. They're not sure what they will do as regards Daesh. In your view, what do you think about the Taliban's own ability and desire to tackle this group?
Well, ability and desire are two different things. As far as desire or the will to fight Daesh, if you look at the record going back to 2014, when IS-K emerged in Afghanistan, eastern and a bit in the north, you see a trend whereby the Taliban and Daesh have clashed on numerous occasions. At times, the former government of Mr. Ashraf Ghani and U.S. forces and Taliban, all three actually have gone after Daesh and even have cooperated with each other. But also many Daesh fighters, fearing the Taliban, came to Ghani's government for protection. And some of them were actually incarcerated because they knew that instead they would be killed. So the record is pretty clear about the intent of the Taliban versus Daesh. Obviously, the ability issue is a totally different issue. In some cases, they have the ability, and it seems, in some other cases, like the other day, it seems like a Daesh suicide bomber was able to get through. We don't know exactly where, how, and what role the Taliban played in being or not being able to prevent that from happening.
So let's talk a little bit more about Daesh-K. They're based in Nangarhar province on the border with Pakistan. Is this group growing? Is it recruiting members? And if so, who are they?
Well, I think at the height of their existence, they probably had, according to intelligence sources, no more than 2,000 or 3,000 active members in Afghanistan. Their linkages to the Middle East is very, very weak. These are mostly remnants of other terrorist groups who feel like they would like to fight under the banner of Daesh as we've known it as when they emerged about 10 years ago in the Middle East. So this particular faction, the Khorasan faction, has had a presence in eastern Afghanistan to some extent, in southeastern Afghanistan, and as I said, in the north. But they have been decimated to a large extent. So now we think that there are no more than a few hundred. But there's one thing that is happening. There are reports that there are some urban Daesh members or some young and youth who are dissatisfied with the Taliban and other groups and with the situation overall, and they are joining Daesh. So it could now become sort of an urban phenomena, and so this means that the Afghan cities obviously are at risk, and the Afghan cities have been hit by Daesh on numerous occasions in the past few years.
That is a fascinating dynamic. Omar, thanks so much. You've added a lot of insight to this threat.